So I played a lot of baseball growing up, and I can still remember the words of my coach ringing through my head. After different outcomes of games, he'd say always, don't let your highs be too high or your lows be too low. And that's kind of something that stuck with me ever since then. It didn't matter if it was a huge victory for us winning the state championship or just a stunning, just heartbreaking defeat. But it's definitely something that's part of my personality, I think, and I scored very high on the team helper assessment, but stability is a big attribute that I have that I bring to a team, and that I like working under pressure, and I feel like I'm pretty laid back with things and don't get rocked very easily, and stay pretty consistent with that. I grew up in a family of 6, so I had 3 siblings, the youngest of 4. And growing up as the youngest of 4, you definitely get picked on a little bit, which I did growing up. And I think that growing up in my family is a big reason that I've turned out the way I am, and it's shaped me to be who I am today. And on the Type A, Type B test, I've scored halfway, kind of in the middle, and similar to Michelle, but had tendencies where I'm very laid back and very open to things, but tendencies where I'm very competitive. And I remember, just a little story, I remember growing up, and me and my brother is 5 years older than me, and we had like a little one-on-one full court set up in our basement, and we had like an unfinished basement with cement and stuff. And so we were down there playing one day, and I never would ever beat him. And he was, 5 years older, so we always found a way to win. And we were like coming down to the wire, and we'd always count down the seconds of at the end of our games to finish them out. And so we were counting down. I had the ball, and I was down 2, and I was counting down 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and I shot a 3 right at the buzzer. Went in. I'm going crazy, like sprint around our little basement, celebrating like crazy because I'd never beat him before. And then all of a sudden he's like, wait, there's still 0.3 seconds on the clock. So I don't quite know how that's possible when we're counting down the seconds, but somehow he managed to dribble the length of the basement in 0.3 seconds and shoot a layup, and then ended up winning the game. It's kind of the story of my childhood with the competition and a family that's very competitive. And so that's another thing I bring to the team is competitive drive and a competitive nature, and along with that comes a standard of excellence. It's something I strive for in my own life in every area, whether it's academics or athletics or relationships. I want to be excellent. A big part of who I am. Another thing I bring to the team is adaptability. That was kind of an overarching theme through some of the tests that I took, and just the ability to relate with different types of people and get along with different people, and whatever a team needs in a situation, I want to be able to step in and bring that. And playing organized sports ever since I was 4, again, similar to Michelle, but just learning the opportunity and the ability to be able to fulfill a role on a team and do whatever it takes for the team to succeed in the long run. Finally, just want to talk a little bit about the Myers-Briggs that I scored on. I was an ESTJ, so I slightly extrovert, so I really enjoy, like Alex, processing information and being able to talk it out with groups. And so group projects are really good for me just because there's a lot of dialogue that goes on, a lot of learning that goes with that, also being an auditory learner. The S, I was pretty high on, but pretty sensing versus intuitive. I like data, I like facts. Goes along with being an accounting major, fits in well. And then thinking versus feeling, I was higher on the thinking. I like to make rational decisions. I don't really like letting my emotions dictate how I act. And then the last one was judging, and I like to be a little bit more orderly in how I set up my life and have schedules written out and lists and all that good stuff. But at the same time, like I feel like I'm still pretty spontaneous and not a huge planner in the midst of that, but definitely able to get stuff done. So all in all, looking forward to